Joining us now is Newsnation senior investigative producer Alison Weiner. She's been on the scene speaking with sources on the ground. Also joining us is former FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon. Alison, I want to start with you. You've been in close contact with Jake and Rebecca Haro and the lawyer who's representing Jake. What kinds of threats is this couple getting?
Well, it's a bit of a circus outside of the house. I was actually in Cabazon, and the pictures that we just showed of the, memorial or the signs up are right outside of the house. Cabazon is an area of California in the middle of the desert that is about 30 minutes from Palm Springs. It's about 108 outside there. And I was standing outside there. There's a lot of media there, but there's also a lot of TikTokers and all kinds of pseudo-interested people who are milling about, and I assume that also includes, some unsavory types. I don't assume it. I saw some unsavory types. It's also, these people are walking onto the lawn. They're walking up to the house. They're banging on the door. I saw some of that behavior. So basically, this case has generated a lot of emotion. People are very.
And why did they call 911, Alison?
Well, there was a man that went up to the house. He banged on the door repeatedly. He stole something off of the porch, and then he made some joke about how, he had done the five-finger gift or whatever and taken the item. It was a gift from the Haros, or, just sort of making a joke about it. The police came, but they did not speak with Mr. Haro, and they cited the reasons for not speaking with him because he had declined to speak with the police at this time about this case. But frankly, he's very frightened. And when they left their house, everybody ran after their car. I was there, and I saw sort of the circus following them.
And Alison, why is the police are saying that the couple are not complying with police? They say they are. The police say they're not. Why do we have this difference here?
Well, I think they were trying to be assisting initially, and then I think when the focus turned on them, they have refused to meet with the police for, say, for a lie detector test. The wife has, the Rebecca, the mom. And the issue here is I spoke with Mr. Haro's lawyer. He is not representing the mother, but he told me that she was willing, that he had heard that she was willing to meet with the police and take a lie detector test if her lawyer was present. Apparently, they couldn't come to terms. And again, I had a conversation with a lawyer. He is beginning to be in hiding because he is frightened because he's receiving death threats.
So, Bobby, yeah. I've spoken to several lawyers today who say it's not normal to have a lawyer present during a lie detector test. Is that your understanding, number one? And number two, what do you make of a mother in this position refusing to take one?
Well, first of all, that is true. I've been subjected to many polygraph tests when I had a national security top clearance. So I had to be polygraphed, and I put people under polygraphs. And the polygraphers that I've worked with always say it's a one-on-one. It's the polygrapher and the subject, nobody else in the room, and that's the way it has to happen. It's a very specific process, and so you can. It's kind of like a grand jury. You can have your lawyer outside in the hallway, and you can take a break and ask them stuff, but you can't have them in the room when the polygraph is being given. It's usually just the polygrapher and the subject of the polygraph, and that's just the process that they go through. So that's I think where we're at now. Why would she refuse? There's a number of reasons why she would refuse. She might feel she might fail, or she might feel that there are other things that she's been involved in that she doesn't want to talk about that they may get into. I don't know her motivations for not wanting it or wanting a lawyer there with her.
She clearly knows suspicion is turned toward her. She's, I'm sure, nervous. I'm just, I'm reading a lot on social media as well, and we've interviewed people who are from the area. As a mom myself, if one of my children were missing, I would do anything humanly possible that you asked me to do. If it would help find them in any way. But Alison, I do want to ask you about something because you have spoken to the lawyer. People who are at that football game, right? People who were at the football game where the Haros went to watch one of Jake Haro's older sons play, no one at the football game says they saw the baby. You say that's actually because you were told that Rebecca never got out of the car with Emmanuel because it was so hot. She was staying inside the car with the baby because she needed the air conditioning.
Yes, that is what the lawyer said. I said to him, she wasn't spotted with the baby at the football game, and she also wasn't spotted with the baby at the Big Five store. the lawyer responded, Mr. Hughes is the name of the lawyer. He responded that she wasn't in the Big Five because the incident occurred before she was going into the Big Five. She was out there diapering the baby, and after the baby was taken, she went into the Big Five. This is what the lawyer, Mr. Hughes, was saying to me. I mean, I think that we have to, he is representing somebody, and this
Right.
is what they're working on, what the defense would be. But frankly, you're also hearing from police sources that, they've taken the phones. I heard from other sources, involved in the investigation, that they are looking at the phone records to see if they could see if the father or the mother went to any specific locations where a body
That's
was
what
buried.
they've already sent cadaver dogs to the house. They were unable, I guess, to turn up anything since we've heard nothing. But they're
But
obviously
Elizabeth, this is in the middle of the desert. They have a
right.
lot. It is a
So,
lot of I mean, Bobby lives in there.
yeah. All right.
It's rough terrain.
It's rough terrain, Bobby. This is not a good story. A baby disappearing like this now for exactly a week. Bobby Chacon, Alison Weiner, thank you both so much. Really appreciate it.